How do I find myself here again? Okay. So I had a chance to dig into the black truck a little bit, and my buddy Kiwi from Kiwi Classics and Customs came to help me tear it down a little bit.
What'd you do? You broke it. It fell off.
And here's the great thing about black. Black is a mirror, it shows everything. But here's the bad thing about black. Black is a mirror and it shows everything. But hey, if we're gonna get this slicked out like Zed sled, there's some improvements that we're gonna make, so I've got them marked out here and there. You saw me do this, and it hurt me as much as it hurt you to get down to bare metal, but it also showed me that there's only one paint job over original, and we're good to go. We got to lose the emblems, got everything stripped down, did some blocking just to see what we're going to have to do. We're going to be blocking this truck out, priming it, reblocking it, and painting it. So it's essentially just refining the surface of what's already there. But we're not doing any of that today. What we're doing today is finally getting the 280ZX into the shop. And I'm stoked, man. I'm still excited about this car. And I've been lying awake at night and waking up with this ticking sound. And it's a ticking sound, and it's wearing on me, and it's this ticking, and it's making me anxious. But I've figured out that it's not a ticking clock. It's the sound of that car rusting under the carport. So I got to get it in here and figure out a game plan on this car. So that's what we're doing today. And I've got to figure out a name for the ZX also. I've got an idea. And I was talking with my buddy Ryan Shand. If you remember Ryan from the truck show, we're staying in touch, and we're still really good friends to this day. And we've been bench racing on some things like this for the power and stuff like that. But really, this car has just been sitting here ever since the last time you saw it. The only thing I've done is throw off a bug bomb on the inside because it was, dang it, it was alive. Let's say Datsun ecosystem happening here. And yeah, so we did that. I've got the steering locked because that actually works. I've got it strapped down. One of the cool things about the ZX cars is they've got factory tow hooks on either side of the front. So between the 3 flat tires, locked steering, a really strong strap, my trusty 4-wheel drive pickup, I'm pretty sure I can drag this sucker into the shop. So that's what we're doing right now. How do I find myself here again? Okay. Mother of God. one of the first things I'm going to do with this car is something I've been thinking about since I got it. I'm going to hook a battery up to it and see what works, see what doesn't, see what kind of electrical circuits we do. Does the starter key? I don't know. I might burn the car to the ground. Who knows? But we're going to see. We're going to see where we're at. Kind of give an assessment that way. But there's something that's bugging me and has been bugging me since I bought this car. And this is literally almost the only body damage on it. When you open the door, it makes that horrible sound. So I'm going to spoon this out, and because it's like my OCD is kicking in. And what's that? Just kidding. Ow. There we go. At least it won't make that popping sound. It's not perfect, but it's not binding anymore either. You just had to relieve some of the pressure and kind of tell it where I wanted it to stay. So now let's put a battery to it. All right, that's wet. It looks like a fuel filter, and it's wet. No, it doesn't. Oh, it didn't smell bad, so it must be just water because this was outside. All right, which one is the ground? Oh, there's so many unhooked wires. That's starter. So here's our hot. There's engine block. That's ground. Alrighty then. Oh, one thing I learned from one of the guys that's an actual mechanic that I worked with is that the electrons travel not through the middle of the wires, but the electrons travel on the outside of each strand. So when you look at that, I'm kind of scared to breathe that. That's oxidation on all those strands of wire. So what I'm doing is stripping off just a little bit on the outside of that copper. The truth is, this needs a whole new cable. It's old and dirt. So that's what we'll do eventually. But for now, I just want to make sure I'm getting a good 12-volt signal. And that one might actually do it. All right, so I've got a good hot battery and it's on a maintainer. Super great connection right there. And it's showing me a loop right there. So you guys in mechanic world, you can tell me why that works and just a straight charger won't, but here we go. So we've got a circuit. So I'm hoping, I'm hoping. So let's see if any of the dash lights come on. I heard a click. Oh my goodness, would you look at that?
Oh, would you look at this?
Look at the door indicator comes on. Look at that. What is that about? Where's the plunger? I'm trying to find something that works on this car. Is it right here? Okay, right here. Okay, it just stopped working. All right. All right, so that's the rear window defroster. Look at that. That circuit is complete. That's a rear washer. This is, what is that? Oh, we got a headlight. We had a headlight. Wipers, no bueno. Cooling fan, no bueno. Listen. It's kind of music-like. I love it. Okay, something works in this car. So, What do we have here? Oh, look at that. Passenger side window goes down. Sounds terrible. Driver's window. Look at that. Look at that. All right, so what is this telling me? This is telling me, I don't know, man. It just gives me a little bit of hope. So what I'm going to try and do now, clutches to the floor. I'm going to see if it'll crank. Look at that. All right. I've got some starting fluid over on the shelf. I can't resist. I'm going to try it. Hear that? Just a little bit more fluid. Quicker action to the starter. That's all the proof I need. I haven't checked the oil, I haven't checked anything, but it lights off, it fires, the air meter kind of sort of works. I don't know what the fuel source is. I'm not going to take any chances. Now I can say that this engine is 99% probably going to run. Marker lights, headlight on the other side works. This headlight, no, it's burned out. I don't care. Our lighting circuit works. Let's check the back end. Marker lights are good. I'm going to go press the brake pedal and put it into reverse. No brakes. Reverse lights, no bueno. Okay, that's all right. All right, I'm calling that a win. I don't care what you say. Other thing that's been driving me nuts is this bubbling rust here. I do not want to replace this hatch. So I'm going to check this with my DA sander. We'll get it down to bare metal and see what gives, man, because it's bubbly and it's making me nervous. I'm bummed. And here's why. I thought this might have been just a little bit of surface rust, and it looks like it there. That don't look so good. That looks even worse. That looks even worse. Hole there. And there's literally bumps all over the place. There, bad, looking even worse. Oh no, look how thin that is. Look, you could see that just crumbling. That was that ticking sound I was talking about. It was this hatch. Damn. Bubbles all underneath the emblem. And it makes sense because this is held in with pins. It's not just tape. And in the 79, they didn't have adhesive tape, I guess. I don't know. And look, it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. And there's bubbles kind of all the way around this thing. Right here where this has split, it's let moisture down into there, probably under the glass. So it is what it is. And you know the saying, rust is like a box of chocolates. No, sorry, that's Forrest Gump. Rust is like an iceberg. You never know what you're going to get. No, rust is like an iceberg. It's always under the blanket. Rust is like an iceberg. You're only seeing 10% of it. The rest is... Anyway, we're gonna take a knee for the hatchback. It's okay. There's used parts. There's certainly not a reproduction for this hatch. But I'll just get on. I'll get on the messenger face market, and we'll scare up another one. Tennessee is usually pretty kind to older vintage vehicles, so maybe there's somebody close by. I don't know. Whatever. So, all right. It is what it is, right? Was it promised to be perfect? No. Did I know it was rusty going in? Yes. Was I looking at it with rose-colored glasses? I certainly was. And, all right. All right, so now. Get everything stripped out of the rear compartment here. I feel pretty good about this. Trunk floor is in good shape. All that stuff down there is in good shape. We kind of saw a glimpse of that when we did the walk around at the car lot. All of these things, you know, it's all in good shape. We've got the enormous hole in the tire well, but I was at Tractor Supply store the other day and I saw trailer fenders, and I think that's my patch panel. So I also figured out why our taillights didn't work. All the bulb sockets are just hanging. The bulbs are shot and or broken. So I'm gonna go on a leap of faith that our rear electrical circuit is working as well. Shocks are absolutely worn out. There's some trim pieces missing here, and just everything's just kind of in a yuck zone. So here's what we found. Over here, somebody's actually been collecting parts. This is the rear part that encapsulates the headliner over top of the storage compartment behind the seats. Anyway, this is a broken one. Here's a new one. We've got a door pole here, miscellaneous panels, vents. Center console is in pretty okay shape. We've got some work to do here. Yeah, we've got a lot of work to do here. Center console goes up into this pocket. This is actually in decent shape. A couple of splits here. I've got a plastic repair set from Polyvents that I can put to work here. And that's mirror control. Lost the ashtray. It's okay. Don't smoke. And some miscellaneous panels here that says pull open. See if it works. It does. Now it's open. A couple of threshold plates there. Even though, well, there's one on the car. I think, yeah, there's a spare somewhere. This is for A-pillar. That's that horrible trim. Fuse box cover, speaker cover, passenger side sun visor. That's, I think it came from the ship beside the Titanic underwater. And then there's this. We are not going to be reusing this. Maybe that can be repurposed for something. Nope, 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 I can't. So these are from the quarter panels on the inside. Obviously that's where the vent window goes. This is passenger side. These are in terrible shape. They're starting to delaminate from the framework here. I don't think that can be saved. This guy certainly can't be saved. And we have our quarter glass here that I might pop back in just because, just to get a win. Holy camoly. All right. Give me a lever long enough and I will move the world. All right, little Datsun seat. I hope I'm not rounding the head of that fastener off. It's actually turning. Yes. Challenge me. Doesn't feel like it's moving. Oh, it is, yeah. Thank you. What is wrong with me? Okay. Okay. Now it's stuck in the socket. And this one's like butter. Of course it is. Thank you for keeping me safe with these fine thread, heavy shank, grade 8 bolts, Nissan engineers. Thank you. Not graceful, but yeah. High quality combination wrench. Snack food. Fasteners in surprisingly good condition. And chewing gum. That's a, oh, look, more combination wrench there. Alrighty, no money. Okay. And these seats actually retract. The tracks are okay, unlike the garbage Camaro, so I can get to the rear bolts easily on this one. Second verse, same as the first. Horrible struggle ensues. Kevin gets seat out, declares victory, has adult beverage. Plan fails, different size fasteners. Kevin wonders why. Can't see. Old man, heavily lensed reader glasses, dark little pocket. All right, so the rails retract, but they're rotten. I was just able to just lift the seat up and pull it completely out, so might be needing some seat tracks also. Track mechanism looks really good until you get to the mounting points. However, that doesn't do as much good in holding the seat still. So I'm hoping maybe I can get an aftermarket set. I don't know, maybe I put some Pro Car seats in. I'd like to keep the original seats because there's upholstery kits out there, but again, well, I'll put that on the list for parts to find. There's a pocket storage well behind the seats of these cars that I've always kind of liked. This one is full of ignition wires, plastic seat thingy, it looks like. The other speaker grill I was wondering about. Power mirror switches. I bet we could put some contact cleaner on those. The plugs are looking good. I like power mirrors. Here's a foot thingy. Another part of the gorgeous wrench set. I'm not kidding, this is cool. This is Phillips head super long screwdriver. These come in handy, and it's a Craftsman, so I bet it still has its lifetime warranty on it. Little 194 bulb. There's where it is. That is missing. Yeah, I don't know why they saved it, but I'm glad they saved it. It's completely useless. You can't put the silver back on the back side, but hey, thanks for saving it. Thanks for trying. Hey, for effort. And these, that looks like a seatbelt mount bolt. Fine thread. It's got the little retainer thinger there. Just grade, sorry, 10 millimeter hardware, little glass fuse. This hardware, you know, I always save all of this stuff. Original hardware is good hardware. I've always known that. So we're going to save that. We're going to save it in a big bucket. When we put this thing back together again, if I have parts left over, that's why. It's not my fault. And a pen. Okay, got the other side. There's more. Another Phillips screwdriver, more fasteners. This looks like a relay or something electrically. It's an empty box. A pair of needle nose pliers that we're gonna put in with the seat tracks for the garbage Camaro and see if we can restore those again. Here's the most interesting thing that I found in this car. This is a diagnostic meter. It looks like it's turn of the century. Contacts are off of it. The alligator clips are gone. When you find electrical diagnostic equipment in with your car that has obviously had some electrical problems, and this is as rusty as the car, I don't know that that bodes well. Taking a look, we've got some electronic stuff there. All the wiring seems to be pretty okay. And I've got a pick, so I'm just gonna poke around the floors. Yeah, we've got rust holes there. Rust hole there. This is just an insulation from the factory. That's what's creating that dull sound, but below it, this is a low point here. That's a water pocket there, but it's not rusty there. Here's what somebody has tried to do. See this aluminum foil? This is one of those cases of somebody's best intentions actually it created more of a problem than would ever be if they had never done that. You've got steel and you've got aluminum. When you mix steel and aluminum together, when there's no protective coating on it, you get a condition called galvanic corrosion. I'm not making this up. This is important. This is why when you're working on aluminum, you have a set of aluminum tools. And when you're working on steel, you have a set of steel tools. And never the twain shall meet, because you can actually instigate galvanic corrosion between carbon steel and aluminum just from the dissimilar metal process that happens. It will actually accelerate the rusting process. So it's not me, it's science. This layer of aluminum foil, like I said, they had the best intentions. They thought it would maybe be a moisture barrier and help with insulation, but I'm certain that it made this worse than if they had never tried to do that at all. So note to self, look up galvanic corrosion. In here at the front, we're pretty solid down here, and this is the low point. That's that factory insulation for NVH, and this right here is our toe board and floor pan. And I'm pulling up giant hunks of metal pretty easily. So we're going to need toe boards, part of the transmission tunnel, and right there, boys and girls, is where the frame rail used to be. So we're going to need a set of frame rails for this car. I've watched a couple of channels on YouTube where guys make their own, and they make it out of like 3/16 4x, and it's better, it's stronger, it's like subframe connectors. So, you know, if I can't find a set of frame rails online from a vendor that makes it for this car, well, we'll just make our own. But this neither makes me happy nor sad. It just is, and I'm gonna try not to overthink this, but we got to know, right? We got to know what's ahead of us. So we'll dive into the other side. I'm sure it's going to be much the same. Okay, here on the driver's side, it's not as bad, but it's the same basic rust as on the passenger side. We've got holes here, the pockets, yeah. Some rust there. Through here, fairly solid. Nice little mouse house right there. And here at the toe boards, again, we've got rust through there and rust through there. So we're going to need partial floors at the very least on both sides. Surprisingly, this car has given up 0 pocket change. I found a dime, and that's it. We'll vacuum this out, and now we know from the top side what condition our car is in. It's not horrible. Is it great? No, but it's not horrible. When we look at it from the bottom, that's really going to be the tell. So get ready. Better. Now we get the look. All right, let's start with the obvious. Yeah, we need a tire well. Fuel tank doesn't look to be rusty. On this side, the drop-offs are good. All the shields are on, everything's there. Front, or the rear cradle appears to be okay. Surface rusty, differential, fine, exhaust system, shot. Here's something really interesting. This is an external fuel pump. That don't look original. So now we get to the really interesting stuff. Rear pans, toasty. This side frame rail, it's, yeah, nope. Not good. Right here, really not good. Yeah, that's just a brace. Yeah, this is just a shield for the exhaust. This frame rail literally looks like the Titanic. And this frame rail literally looks like the Titanic. Where's Russ Ballard? He could walk me through this wreck. All right, that looks like fuel send, return, evap, cables, or maybe it's brake circuits. Somebody will correct me on it. I think that might be brake circuits. Anyway, up here, floor, tunnel, rail, it's just gone. It's gone. It looks like somebody's done some Dukes of Hazzard landings with this frame rail, on top of it being kind of mushy. But right up here, it appears to be solid again. Up in there, I think it's the 81 and up ZX cars have a rack and pinion. This has a steering box. That's the box right there. My 79 felt great. I didn't miss a rack on that. All the suspension is rusty. This frame rail, yeah, that's a brake proportioning valve. So these, yeah, some of those are brake circuits. Again, up in the front, look at this up here. These rails are good. I don't see any signs of wreck damage. The metal appears to be really solid. We may be missing a radiator hose here. I'll check. Lower valance is toast. Lower crossmember here. It's pretty okay. I can probably live with that. And up in here, on the outside of the rail, everything looks okay. Surface rusty. Again, we'll probably blast this car and see. Oh, wait. Bad news. All right. Let's go back here. So it's rusty. You can even hear where the integrity of the metal changes to decent. So all of this is bad. Not bad. Let's go to the other side. So right where, sitting straight up, there's the battery box. This side typically is more rotten than the other side. But if you look over here, oh wait, it is more rotten than the other side. So the inside of this rail upturn is toasty. Yeah. It's not good, folks. It's not good. Hello, my name is Kevin. I did an impulse buy. I bought a car based on how I felt about it, not how it looked. And I bought a car based off of how it made me feel from the old car that I had. It was a good car. So now I have this car. I need a tetanus shot. So the next thing for this car for me, quite honestly, I'm gonna go to a tire store downtown that sells used tires. I'm gonna get some 14-inch skins for this thing because it's so much easier to move with air in the tires, and that shenanigans of dragging it down here with the truck, that won't ever have to happen again. I could use my Go Jacks and all that kind of stuff. So that's gonna help me get this thing around the shop or to the junk pile if we can't get a floor. Then we gotta get the structural integrity of this thing up to speed. So I'm gonna start looking for replacement parts for the bottom, for frame rails, and I'm gonna do some YouTubing for guys that have done these cars, and we'll figure out what the best option is. I still believe there's enough good stuff on this car to rebuild it. Is it out of spite right now? Kinda, yeah. I don't know. I'm in this thing cheap. I really am. But I'm going to do some more research. That's what this episode was about. Let's pull it apart. Let's really take a good look. The good news is, the wins here are the electrical seem to be okay. We got it to pop a couple of times. So ignition seems to be okay. The starter works. The ignition works. Steering lock works. There's a lot of stuff that works. On top of the fact that I still love this car. So I guess that's it. Make sure if you want to see more on this, whether it deteriorates to the point to where we can't save any more of it, yeah, tune in, subscribe. We've got an awful lot of rust repair to do on this car. If you're interested in rust repair, of course, I've got DVDs and streaming programs showing you how to fix rust repair and fiberglass and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in upping your skills, go to paintucation.com, check it out. We've got a bunch of free videos there as well. So as always, thank you so much for investing your time in this. Thanks for following me along in this crazy journey on this car. I still don't know a name for it. I've kind of snuck up on an engine transmission combination. We might be doing a tap, 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 tap. That's all I'm going to say. And it might have 8 cylinders instead of 6. So that's just where my head's at. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you on the next video.